Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 3rd of August. And I want to start with the Nasdaq today because obviously we're seeing stocks like Apple and so on lead to the upside. And we'll take a look at those as well. So on the weekly chart here for the Nasdaq, this is kind of how I'm looking at it. We're looking at this March run up through here as wave 1, and then we'll see an ABC back for wave 2. May not pull that far back, but we'll see. We'll still need to see a 5-3-5 structure come into play here. This level here is a medium level. It's 11,500. Will it reach that area? I don't know. All it needs to do really is make a new high above these previous highs here. And let's go in and have a look as we're looking for 5 waves to the upside here. So on the daily chart here, I was looking at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then all the way up for wave 3 here with 5 blue waves here, and then wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here. So I've labeled it. I've also given consideration to stocks around the planet as well, and I know that a lot of them are looking at their third wave. With stocks, there's leaders and there's followers, so they're not all going to be the same. The main point here that we've been working with over the last week or so is this little pattern here, which I've labeled as an A and a B and a C wave here for this. So let's go into the hourly chart and take a look at that, and then we'll have a look at some stocks. So on the 1 hour chart here, we've got wave 3 here with an A wave here, quite a clear B wave here, and a 5 wave sequence coming down into wave 4 here. Now, for this to be correct here, first of all, if this market's going to push up higher through here, then first of all we need to see a new high above here, so that's something we'll keep an eye out for. And second, we want another high above the B wave here, so we're looking at this little move coming up into this space between wave 4 and wave 5 here. So we still want to see new highs here, and that's what we've been calling for from this particular low here. Looking at one of the stocks now, we'll look at Apple, because I know that that's pushed higher and needs to go higher still. So this is Apple here, and we're looking for you can see we're looking for 5 waves here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. That's pushed up a little bit higher. Obviously, I've counted 5 waves in this little structure. We talked about going long here at some point, obviously. So look, what we've got here now is a nice strong 3rd wave, right? So we're going to see that could push higher. I haven't broken this down, but we'll see wave 4 and wave 5 to push higher here, and then we're going to see this market pull back into the 400 area through here. So look, it probably won't, it will trade higher than group 1 here, 10, 20 and 30, so it could trade up to 40 or even more than that, but finding support on the number 3 here, the 30, is the critical point to observe here, because gaining support on top of this level here, a tested support with a classic trading levels pattern, testing that number as support, then it'll see the market higher at that point, and we will need to keep an eye on that. But failing to find a tested support on this level here, then it's going to pull back into the 400 area for that. So that's kind of leading to the upside. We'll also have a look at Amazon, which is dragging its feet a little bit here in this case. So don't worry about the count too much if it's this wave 3 or this one, but the main point here is that we've got an A wave, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and a C wave here. Now it's really only a corrective move until we see 5 waves through here, or normally taking out the top here, which we probably may have just done. But like Apple as well, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 here. So what we should see next is, well, this wave 4 here in this case, then a push up for wave 5 here. Now, will this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just be wave 1 and we'll come back for wave 2 and then we'll have 3 and 4 and 5? I'm not quite sure about that just yet, but the main takeaway here is that we're not going to be, you shouldn't be bearish on this unless the 3000 has become the retested resistance, and gaining a little, refining that there. The 100 here, the 3100, should not become the retested resistance, and if it does, then you'll know that weakness has moved in on this market. So I'll just leave it on those two particular stocks. We could probably go on forever and look at all of those, but just pointing out that we've got these corrective patterns like we pointed out on the Nasdaq here as the A, the B and the C here. We've been looking for moves to the upside, and that's what we're getting from leading stocks. Could the market just fold over and move down? Well, yeah, sure, it could. It could. All of this could just be an A wave here, then an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and then have a 5-wave structure down through here, and then move off from there. But the main takeaway here is to acknowledge that this is a corrective pattern here. So whatever happens over here, if it just the wave 4 gets larger here, it's still part of this corrective pattern. Okay, let's take a look at the SP500. Now, I need to talk about this a little bit. There's lots of great Elliott wave analysts out there and traders and so on, but yet we all have different counts going on here. So what does that mean? Well, it certainly means that, well, somebody's got it right, and like I said, like to say is that it's not really a matter of getting it right or wrong all the time. It's a matter of making money, and one of the safety features that I like to use is just really basic support and resistance, which I've developed into a concept called the trading levels. And the trading levels work a treat. So when I don't understand the count, then I just come back to support and resistance, and behind that is volume. So the volume can tell us what's also going on in the market as well. So as I mentioned, there's many different ways to count all of this up here, but what we have to say is that that it's still moving higher, isn't it? It hasn't really broken any major support. So when we got up to the 3000, it found support there, and the 3200, as I've mentioned before, is a real line in the sand here for a couple of reasons. But the main takeaway here right today at the moment is that the 3200 is still support. So until that's broken, and yes, the market could just come straight down here. I'm not saying it can't, but I'm saying, as a betting person, we need to be on the right side at the right time, and that market has still got support. So I'd rather be long on support and short on tested resistance than the other way around. My odds are much better in that regard. Once again, how to count this here, I know that every Elliottician has got a different count for it. So look, I know that it's difficult. It's actually not. It's not clear, and Elliott wave is not always clear. In hindsight, we can do the jigsaw puzzle and put it together, but as it's unfolding, it's not always clear. But the main takeaway here is that the trend is not broken down. This trend is not broken down. This trend is not broken down. We can see that Europe is weaker. We can see that Asia's going to get a little bit, Asia's not that weak, actually. If I just, China's one to pull out here. So if I know this is going left field here, but just let me find China for a second. So with China here, you know, we've looked at this here, we've tracked all this up here and counted and so on. So I still just see this as the third wave here and a fourth wave here. And yes, we know fourth waves can get ugly, but we still need to see further upside here for this. And we don't have it yet, but we have support. We don't have liftoff here just yet for this. And it could get more complicated, but I'm just saying in the bigger picture here, this has still got further to go to the upside at this particular point. So, you know, it's not such a silly thing to tie this in with the Nasdaq. So this little pattern through here, if I just bring the Nasdaq back over and bring this wave 4 this ABC for wave 4 here, and yes, this can be in blue here as well, so that's not the problem. But if I just go to the 2-hour chart here, I mean, one of the problems with this has been that do we count this as wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here and then 3 here and 4 here and 5 here and have a top here? And that could very well be in play, and we've looked at that here. If I just go to the 4-hour chart for a moment and look at that, we have talked about it here having a top here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that's doable there. But at the same time, we've seen a little bit of a breakdown through here, and that may be the thing here. So if I can just remove these now. So this low here would have to be taken out for that, or at least somewhere in here, you know, say the 3250 is a retested resistance and you could go short at that particular point in time there. But even if this is wave 1 here, you'd have to say that wave 2 here is really quite big, isn't it? There's not really not a close relationship with wave 1 in terms of perspective in time. And so on here. So I think we're fighting the grain here. We've still got the 3200 here as the nice support. It was resistance and it's struggled as support, but it's maintained support. So, you know, we need to respect that. So in respecting that, coming back to the 2-hour chart, we could see it like this here with wave 3, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then up for 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 here. Wave 3 may be shorter than wave 1 here. If that's the case, then wave 5 is going to be shorter than wave 3. So yeah, look, all I can really say is that while this 3200 remains the support, then we'll be seeing this market complete to the upside. Don't forget there are those leading stocks, and there'll be many others, you know, because of earnings and so on. You know, they need to come out, and you know, the analysts that think that you know, earnings are going to be low, well, not in the stocks that you know, innovative stocks that have done so well during the March run, the COVID situation, where the economy's been under pressure. It's given life to you know, to technology, basically. You know, it's given it the shove that that's required, because it doesn't really get the support from the government otherwise. You know, it's been sort of held down by older industries, and you know, see that you know, across the globe. Even in Australia here, we see it with electric vehicles, the taxes that they put on them as classing efficient petrol cars are classed as luxury cars, and they get this huge tax on them. I mean, where's the petrol anyway? You know. So look, this here. I'm not quite sure about the count. I'm just lining it up with the Nasdaq, but it fits as an A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and down for the C wave here for wave 4, and then up for 1 here, and then back for 2 here in this case. Now, for this to be correct, we need that top taken out here. So that top here needs to be flushed out. So if that doesn't happen, the market drops down here, then you know that it's possible for this to move down further. But I certainly wouldn't take any action unless the 3250 here became the retested resistance. Otherwise, we'll head higher, and the next target is the 3300 here, and it should be pegged in. Obviously, 3200 is a minor level, so is 100, 200 and 300. They're minor levels and they make up minor group 1 here. So getting support on top of this level here, which would a classic trading levels pattern, which would take quite some time because we would need to see this move up here and react here and sit in here, and basically this group 1 above the top of minor group 1, then we've got subgroup here, so 10, 20 and 30 make up subgroup here. So let's just see if we get support on top of this level here, because what that will do, that will separate the market from being pulled from this number, and then we'll see higher ground as well. But in the meantime, we should see this market, this next move here that moves up here, get pegged within group 1 and group 2 below here, 65, 72 and 80, and group 1 here. That should be the swing range within this space here. If that becomes the resistance afterwards, then we're going down. If that becomes the support, then we're going up from that point. So we need that wave 3 and 4 to play out there, and we're seeing that in stock as well. So we'll keep an eye on both of those, because at the end of the day, the stocks create the indice patterns, except the futures market can do its own thing and take other things into consideration. Alrighty, I'm just going to leave it at that, but just to recap, the market looks positive as long as the 3250 doesn't become the retested resistance. It's okay to trade below it because it might pull back for a 61.8%, but if it locks in there, well then we'll be looking to the downside at that point. Alrighty, cheers.